Hey, welcome to your 10-minute stretching mobility movement session. And come to your space. You don't need a yoga mat, but if you have one, it might be helpful to prevent sliding. Yoga mats are a little sticky and provide some padding, so can be nice to have. So come onto your space and start on your hands and your knees in a tabletop position. Your shoulders will be right over your wrists and the hips right over your knees. And on your inhale, arch your spine. This is called cow pose. And as you breathe out, your exhale, round your spine. This is cat. Let your shoulder blades spread apart. Drop your head. And then go back and forth, inhaling cow and exhaling cat. A few more times. And try to move your spine all the way through it. So we often have tendencies and patterns in the body, and maybe that means that your upper back is less mobile or doesn't move as much and you do more in your lower. Just notice and see if you can spread the work out. You can also hang out at one end or the other. And we'll do just one more. Into a neutral spine, tuck your toes behind you. Lift your knees up off of the mat, reach your hips up high into downward facing dog. So your hands, fingers are spread wide, hands press down into the mat, shoulder width distance apart, feet, check them out, they're hip width distance apart. And your body makes an upside down V, essentially. And to take any rounding out of your spine, so you don't want cat pose, you want a long spine. To take it out, you can bend your knees. It's always okay to bend your knees. Keep your arms straight and strong. Maybe a little shake of the head to move tension out. And you can come in and out of this pose, dropping your knees down and coming back up, or stay in it. And play with straightening one leg, reaching your heel toward the mat, and just noticing where you feel a sensation, perhaps in your calf or through your hamstring, and then switch to the other side. And take a couple breaths. Keep pressing your hands down into the earth and away from your hips. Even out the bend in your knees. Walk your feet forward to your hands into a forward fold. So again, your knees can be bent so that your spine hangs down, surrenders, head is heavy. And just let your arms dangle here. One more breath. Maybe legs start to get a little straighter. If you do that, engage your quadriceps so that your hamstring, the stretch starts in the middle of the hammy. And then step your right foot back and walk your hands halfway down so they're right in between your feet. I'm going to turn to face you. Maybe you need to turn your body to face the camera. Legs are open wide and slight pitch and toe of your feet, fold in between your legs. Then lift your shoulders up in this posture. So there's some action in your shoulders. As you lift your shoulders, let your head drop. Just one more breath. Quads active. Press your hands down into the earth and turn your toes out. Bend your knees. Knees will be about right over your ankles. And walk your hands up to your thighs. Thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outside. And arms are straight. Let your shoulders shrug up into your ears. So hips are maybe getting a stretch, inner thighs. Encourage your knees open. And drop your right shoulder down, looking over to the left. Take a couple breaths there. If it feels wrong, do something different. You're taking care of yourself. And come back to center, over to the right. Left shoulder drops. And back to center, legs stay as they are. We're gonna work them a little bit as we're stretching them. Reach your arms up. Bend your right elbow, hand comes behind your head. Left hand on your right elbow. Hips stay low. Keep breathing. Breath is free medicine. And arms reach up. Sweep your right arm underneath the left. Go real slow so you're not using momentum. And as best as you can, bring the backs of your hands toward each other. And breathe here. Shoulder blades spread apart on your back. Inhale, reach your arms up. Right hand behind, again, same hand. Left hand on your elbow. Arms up, right arm under. Pause. Next time, reach your arms up, straighten your legs, give them a little break. And bend your knees again, this time left hand behind, right hand on your elbow. Press your elbow up into your hand. Keep your shoulders strong. Arms up, left arm under, slow. Yeah, so we're exploring range of motion, mobility of the shoulder joint without forcing, without using momentum to get there. Arms up, left arm behind. Arms up, left arm under. And arms up, straighten your legs this time. Toe heel your feet in one time. And then bend your knees and drop your hips low. Hands can come to your heart center or to the earth into a squat. Now, if you need to be a little higher, totally fine. If you want to sit on a block or a pillow or a weight, you can do that too. Arms can press against your inner thighs if they reach, and crown of the head is lifting up. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. That was 1. 2. Try to get your spine tall and just doing the best that you can. 1 more. Lower your hands down behind you. Have a seat down on the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. And hands can be behind you, helping you to sit tall. Feet can press in together. Close up your knees. Turn your legs to face out long on your mat if you're on one. And then bend your right knee. Bring it close in towards your chest. And cross your right foot over the left. Your right foot can come as close as you can to the outside of your left hip, and maybe your knee starts to fall toward the bottom knee, or keep it up. Okay, if you have it down, arms reach up, exhale, fold forward. Whew, I feel this in my left hip, my T-band area. I'm trying to stay in all of these positions for 3 to 5 breaths. Play with engaging your quad. Maybe it moves the stretch around, and you are in control. You find your best stretch here. Next inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, lower them down. Switch your legs. It's different experience, different tightness, openness. So foot can come next to your hip, or knee points up. If your knee points up, you just hold it here. Knee hugs into your chest, maybe get a stretch in your hip, or foot next to your hip. Sitting on top of your sitting bones, inhale, and exhale, fold forward. Great opportunity to practice having a steady and smooth breath when we stretch. And stay connected to what's happening in the moment. When your mind wanders to something different, just notice and bring it back. One more. Reach your arms forward and up. And hands come down. Lift your right foot up. Left foot comes towards the inner right thigh. Doesn't have to touch. Turn to face your bent left knee. Using your hands to help you sit tall. And walk your right hand down the inside of your right leg. Maybe your forearm can touch the earth. Left arm up. Side bend up and over. Or hand behind you. This is a good one for the lower back. The QL, quadratus lumborum. And direct your breath into spaces where there's noticeable tension or tightness. So imagining your breath there. Inhale, creating space, and long, slow, complete exhale. Everything empties. One more. Inhale, come up. Switch your legs. We get to do the other side. Turn to face your bent right knee. Left leg is strong. Walk your hand down the inside of your left leg. Right arm up and over. Whew. Maybe arm behind you. I like to let my head be heavy. You can press your right thigh down into the mat. One more here. And back up. Both legs out in front of you. And roll down to the mat behind you or the earth. Knees come into your chest and make a few circles in both directions. We're going to do one more hip stretch and a twist. And that's it. So it's a little over 10 minutes. Right leg crosses over the left. Thigh on thigh. And then hug your knees in. And maybe you start to move your feet out away from each other. And how do you need to shape your body to find a stretch in your hips? Maybe it's more of a figure four where your ankle's on your thigh instead of thigh on thigh. Long exhale. Legs go up and cross the other way. 5-ish breaths here. Last one. Release your legs, lower your right foot down. Slide your ankle up to the outside of your thigh and let your knees drop to the left. If it feels like too much, you can let your left foot slide off or let it be weighted there on your thigh, helping to open up the right hip, front of the right hip. A little gentle twist in your spine. One more breath. Slide your foot off, knees come back up, and do the same to the other side. And you can bring your hands behind your head if you'd like. This can be a nice stretch through your biceps and side waist. Let your head be heavy. One more. Slide your foot off, knees back up. Open your feet wide toward the edges of your mat. Let your knees fall in to touch each other and rest against each other, and then hands on your low belly. And here, take just 3 breaths or more if you have time. Let your belly rise up into your hands. And then when you exhale, let your belly sink down. Good work. Good work. Take care of you, your body, and may our work here be of great service to ourselves and to all.